Hey, this is your girl, Michelle.
And this is your girl, Mariah, also known as Mariah Amazing.
And you are tuned in to Melanin Voices. Hey.
Hey, everybody.
It's so funny that you do that every time. I think that's something you need to do every time. Like, you put a cute laugh in our intro. So I think it just needs to happen.
Okay, I'm going to just start doing that all the time. I'm going to just find something to laugh about.
So, let's get started. Mariah.
Okay, guys. So, we wanted to get started with Melanin Media. As we said, we're going to start introducing more into this new season and ongoing seasons. But, yeah, so we're going to start with Melanin Media and talk about the Met Gala. Michelle, what is a Met Gala? I'm going to look this up. Nobody ever knows what it actually is. But every year, celebrities get together. They have an award ceremony where they all dress really, really nice. And... my favorite looks this year, of course, was Rihanna. She looked amazing. Like, she looked amazing to me.
What was, do you know the theme? Because I didn't know the theme of it, but I heard Rihanna, like, she actually went for the theme of, like, this year's. But whatever it was, like, very artistic. So I think she won. But I heard Nicki Minaj won. And I think Nicki Minaj's look was terrible. I don't know why she won the look anyway, but... I love the Met Gala because it brings so much creativity. Like, no matter what you look, like, no matter what you put on, it just looks so good. So, I really enjoyed it. I think Ree looked the best, though. What about you?
Yeah, of course. I think she was definitely one of my favorite looks. My other favorite looks were Blake Lively. I feel like nobody really talked about Blake. I loved her look. Like, how it was, to give everybody a description of what it was if you didn't see it already. She had, like, on a gold sequin... long sleeve dress, and she had a gold sequin long sleeve dress, and like reached to the floor, and towards the end of the dress it was like blue, like feathery. It was really, really pretty. It was very elegant.
I'm gonna have to look.
Look at my Snapchat. I posted because I really liked it. And then I liked Zendaya's. Her outfit was really cute, like her fro. It was so nice.
She was lit. Like, yes. I loved hers. Hers was
yes, really she was nice, and I mean. I like Cassie and Diddy. I love the way he was, like, so, like, into her. Like, he laid on the ground, like, gave her shine. That was so cute to me.
And social media has no filter. Like, they went in on everybody who they could go in on. It was funny, but it's always comedy, so I enjoyed it.
Of course they did. But also, I don't know why I forgot this, but Lala, her outfit was bomb. She's lit. Like, recently she's been... I mean, not recently. She's always looked amazing, but she's really, really, really been, like, stunting. Like, even at the Met Gala this year, she had rings on every finger except her ring finger.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
She was like, oh, okay, I'm going to show you what you're missing, basically.
Right.
And she definitely did that.
Put that glow on so Carmelo can crawl right back. I don't know if... Should Lala let him back if that baby is his? What do you think?
Listen... That's a lot. I don't know. It's a lot.
Come on, Mariah. Would you take your dude back? Come on, you've been married to him for what, 10 years or
I'm not
whatever.
really sure, but they've been married for. They've been together for.
Would you take your dude back if he went and had a baby by someone, like, kind of stepped out on your marriage? Maybe I was going through rough times or something.
Would I? No.
Yes.
Should she? I mean, that's up to your discretion. I mean, everybody's different. You know, some people are like, kind of like, well, make it work or try hard. Why I have to try? Why I gotta do everything when you wasn't trying hard to keep it in your pants, or you wasn't looking out for me when you was doing what you was doing. So now I gotta look out for a relationship. I gotta take, whatever I gotta do. I gotta do all this stuff now. Why do I have to compensate for something that you should have just not did in the first place? Personally, that's how I would view it. Others would be like, whatever, you know, y'all married, y'all been married, y'all got the son together, just work it out, integrate that baby into the relationship. And it's like, but if the roles were reversed, would he stay with her if she had a baby by somebody else? Would he still be there with her? And I feel like every time we have to, especially black women, we have to, like, oh, well, you got to make it work for a relationship. But what if the roles are reversed? I'm sure that people would call her all kinds of hoes and whores and bitches. And they was doing all that when, you know, there was that rumor circulating around that she was having sex with Mano or when she was supposedly having sex with this other basketball player behind his back. She was all kind of bees and hoes, and she didn't even have a baby. Like, wasn't ever that serious. We don't even know if she actually even did it. We actually have proof that he did it, and
do we know? We don't know if he's the father yet, though.
We don't know. We know that he cheated.
Okay,
we actually have solid proof that he cheated, and we never had solid proof about that. And she was all kind of hoes. And he's just in a hard place, and she just needs to forgive him. Like, I don't know. I personally don't know. I think
honestly, I think it depends. I don't know. There's two sides to a story. Like, you never know if Lala kind of gave up, doing what she was supposed to be doing. Like, I heard, hold up, it was like Kirk who said that Rashida, I think it was on the show, that every time he would touch her, that she would turn around, like turn over, and like not want anything to do with him. And I'm pretty sure there's like two sides to every story, because who knows why he might have stepped out. Like, who knows what was really going on in their relationship. So, I hope whatever happens with them, that it's the best for them, but also for the best for their son. I think that's super important for family dynamics, at least. So, let's go ahead and get started with the hot button topic.
Yes.
And the hot button topic today is talking about what we would say to our younger selves. So, I think this topic is super important because our younger selves is kind of the reason why we are who we are today. But I do think it's okay for us to kind of, think about, what might have we told our younger selves, and what will we tell our younger selves in the moment right now, because I do feel like we're still young, and, maybe 10 years or 12 years from now, we might look back and say, what would I have told my younger self, which would have put me in a better situation today. So I'm super excited to talk about this topic. So, start it off, Mariah, what would you wish you would have told your younger self?
So many things. I would definitely say, one, take advantage of experiences versus materials or just material possessions. Because like I always tell everybody, I wish I would have interned in college. I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have did that in college, instead of, what's the summertime? I'm finna take no unpaid internship. I gotta make money. I have to do this. I have to do that. So I wish that I would have just been like, you know what? This is a sacrifice, a minor sacrifice for now, and it's gonna put me on the road to success, because I'll actually be able to make connections, build a network, at least find a mentor or something in my field, versus me getting out of college like I am now and struggling to find positions in my field and or whatever the case is, and struggling to make those connections because I didn't do that from the very start. So now it's like I'm starting from scratch now, when I could have already had a foundation then if I would have just taken that minor sacrifice. Right. But the reason for me doing that is because, I just didn't have the resources to not have a job or a paid job, which I feel like is, all internships should be paid. I really do. I mean, they don't have to be highly paid, but they should be. And that was the reason for me and a lot of others who help support their families, or if they don't help support, they have to help support themselves. So they don't have the luxury to take an unpaid internship. So I definitely feel like that needs to be an issue that needs to be addressed, because I think unpaid internships are just...
Right.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Right. Like, it's easy for those who have it.
Right, who are privileged.
Who are privileged, who parents are like, take on these great opportunities and go out and get a free internship, because this is ultimately going to build your resume, and this is going to look better for you 10 years from now or 5 years from now, compared to go work at McDonald's, go work at, JCPenney or Macy's or wherever, just to get that quick dollar so you can be able to, support yourself, buy your school books, pay your car insurance, or pay your car note, or even help around in the family. So I think that is super key.
I think so too. And like you were saying, it's just unfortunate that we all don't have that luxury to not take an unpaid internship. But yes, I would say definitely value experiences over material possessions. If try to make it work another job on the side or whatever the case is to set me up for that. Also, to find a mentor, because I didn't have one. I have professors I can reach out to now that'll, you know, help me out a little bit, give me some advice.
Yeah.
But as far as like having somebody in my field, in my industry that I can actually go to, like, hey, I started this new job. I don't know what I'm doing, but can you help me? I said I can do it. Like, I need your help to on the side on the weekends to like make sure I know what I'm doing for this role. I don't have that, or I don't feel like I do, and I feel like should have kind of reached out to people a little bit more, a little bit sooner, and gain those relationships that I don't feel like I do have right now. Also, let me see. I'm like, whoa, what else? Love, I would say wait on love. Because I thought that I was in love so many times and I was not. So, not even, because I was just so ready to love and be loved that I wasn't even like knowing what love was. I just wanted to be in love so bad, but I didn't know what the hell love was. Right. I'm still figuring out what it is, but I definitely didn't know it at 17, 18. Fresh into college or fresh out of high school. So I would definitely say, you know, love yourself first. Because that's a lifelong process that, you know, got to rework some things and just love yourself first. That was what I would say in all aspects. You know, with schooling, do good for yourself. And yeah, all you want to do good for your family, your parents, but, you know, you'll get better grades if you want to do it for yourself too, you know? So I would say love yourself in all aspects. Physically, internally, all that, all around. Just love yourself. So wow, I would tell myself a lot. Clearly, I got a whole letter to write my younger self.
Okay. Yeah, like for me, I think some important things which I would have told my younger self is the love aspect was super important. I think being young, I put too much attention on trying to find someone, trying to have a boyfriend or be dating or be messing with someone, where it took me away from doing the things that I really wanted to do. And the things that I really wanted to do or should have been focused on is really building myself. I think that's super important in knowing that my past is my past, and most likely it's not going to mean anything to me later on. Like that past, like my exes mean nothing to me now. Like I wish I would have stayed way more focused on maybe building my own business or just educating myself as a woman to do more, and connecting with people and networking, because I feel like those things would have put me in my power place, and I think that's super important now as I'm looking back and thinking about the things I told my younger self. Another thing would been to go to an HBCU. I feel like I did lose that cultural piece going to a predominantly white school. When I moved to New York City, it was a complete culture shock to me. I noticed that it was a great culture shock, actually. It was just a lot of things that I missed. I was trying to figure out, why weren't I so involved in my culture? Why weren't I so involved with my people? And I've always been like this pro-black, feminist, love my black people, everything black first. And I know for some reason, I feel like if I went to an HBCU, I would have used those talents and furthered myself more. So now I'm finding myself doing it at a young, like, not a younger age, but I'm finding myself doing it now than I wish I would have did it, 4 or 5 years from now while I was in college. And maybe like something similar to like what this podcast is, like this positive outreach that we're trying to give for black women and black communities that we normally don't see in our news or in our, all we see is reality TV, which is a bad impression on black women. It's rare to find someone who is around, 20 to 30 where we see a positive outreach. And I think having this podcast is something I wish I would have started 4 or 5 years ago, because we do need a positive voice in our community to say, these are not how all black women are. It's not how all black people are. And just talk about positive things we could do. So those are some of the things I would have told my younger self. I know I'm not trying to dwell on my past and think I could have did better, but I know for sure that my past made me who I am today, and it makes me and it drives me to do more for my community. So that's why I'm like, let's do this.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's good to reflect, it's not a bad thing. I don't feel like we're dwelling or harping on the past. We're just seeing, where we started so we can know how to improve when we go forward. Because if you don't know where you're from or what you should improve on, you're kind of just roaming around just aimlessly, not knowing where to go or how to go about it. So I feel like it's good to reflect, good to see where you were at, where you want to be, and kind of go from there.
Yeah,
so,
and I also wanted to talk about the importance of mentorship. I think it's super important that we find someone who is maybe where we want to be and we build a relationship with them. I also think, as we are talking about our younger selves today, that we could go back and mentor to someone else who's young right now and say, you know what, I've been in your shoes before. These are some of the decisions I wish I made, and I just want to point you in the right direction. So you can be a step ahead than me right now. So I do think it's important for us to look into mentoring our youth, especially because we've been through what they've been through and we've come out, we're still here, we're doing just fine. But I do think that if we go back and we find some younger person to mentor, that we can really help the next generation of students or of kids.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think that a lot of young people are probably would want that too, because I know that I did. I just didn't know how to speak up about it or go about doing so.
Me too. So, I wish I still don't have a mentor till today. So if someone's listening to this podcast and says, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm 30 years old, 40 years old, or even 4 years older than me, can you please reach out, because I would love a mentor. And I think we should even start a women's group that's about mentoring. Maybe we could all get together and find girls to mentor, and that's just reaching out to them, via social media or email, and just checking in on them to see, where their goals are and what their aspirations are, and see if we can help. I think that's a good idea. A good idea for us to at least.
I agree. Just help each other along the way.
Steps, right?
Yes.
So, let's talk about
Snapchat.
Yes.
Okay, so it's funny that we were saying, how you mentioned, I don't want to look back or anything like that. I'm just kind of stating how I feel about the past. It's because on my Snapchat, the response that I got from a Snapchat user, Atiana. Atiana is wifey as her Snapchat username. But she just said that her response to what would you say to your younger self, or what advice would you give to your younger self, was don't look back, right? That was her thing, don't look back. So I'm assuming that means for her, just assuming here, that means that she doesn't want to harp on old situations or dig too deep into her past and stay there. But like I said, I think it's really good to reflect and I guess not look back, like you said, like she said, not look back but oh my God, and just live in the past, but to see what the past was so you can move forward.
That's very true.
But yeah.
That's very true. So I agree.
You agree? Okay, good.
Don't look back.
Don't look back.
Well, don't harp on your past. I think it's okay to look back, but just don't harp on it and say, I wish I could have done this, and now I'm laying in my bed and I'm sad and I'm depressed. Don't
then do it.
That.
It's okay. You want us to do that? Then do it. Now is the time to do it.
Exactly. So
that's what I would say. It's never too late. Do it now while you can,
Exactly. Do it now. Don't harp on your past. Don't get depressed over some things that you cannot change. You cannot change the past, but you can change the future. Quote that. Michelle Moore. Quote.
Girl, bye. Bye.
You cannot change the past, but you can change the future.
I swear, y'all.
Quote. One day someone's going to quote. Someone's going to quote us, Mariah.
Michelle, the young Maya Angelou.
Quote that. That's my girl.
But yes.
Okay, let's talk about Black Business of the Week. Yes.
Okay, Black Business of the Week is my cousin, Taylor. She started her own cleaning service. It's in New York. That's why I say New York, because you're in New York. I gotta tell you something when we end this podcast episode too. I got something to tell you. But it's in Detroit because that's where my mother's side of the family is located. If you all didn't know, my mom's side of the family is in Detroit. And she started her own cleaning service. And I was all like, okay, this is great. She has her own website. She just recently got her own website. So if you all like to, help out a fellow young Black woman that's trying to be an entrepreneur, and not even trying, but succeeding and excelling at being an entrepreneur, it's called Taylor's Touch Cleaning Service. And her website is taylorstouchcleaning.com. Once again, taylorstouchcleaning.com.
And we will put it on the website, of course, so you guys can
definitely
easily link to it.
www.melaninvoices.com, by the way. But she started it because she wanted to start her own business because she was tired of working hard for someone else. So that's what she started. She was tired of working hard for someone else. So she was like, you know what? I'll work hard for myself. I'll start my own business. Make sure that my business is lucrative so that I can hire other people of all ages to work with me, not for me, but work with me. And they can see that, having your own business is lucrative. And she also wanted to, just shape young women's idea of having your own business and doing things for yourself and having a positive outlook, and building a platform and just being a positive role model for young women that they can do anything they set their minds to, whether that be opening up their own business or just working for yourself. You can do it. And she wanted to be actual example. She didn't want to say, you can do it, but she's not doing it. She actually wanted to live in that truth and actually start her own company. So she did.
Okay, I love that. Like today I put a quote up on Facebook and it said, stop waiting for someone to give you an opportunity. Opportunities are created. So stop sitting around saying like, as long as someone gives me an opportunity, you're going to be waiting forever. If you want an opportunity, you create an opportunity for yourself. And that's exactly what Taylor did. She wasn't waiting for someone to say, here's this opportunity for you to start your own business. No, she said, I'm going to create this business. And she created her own opportunities. And now other people can have the opportunity to work and she can help build jobs. So any entrepreneur would think in that same exact way. You're not sitting around waiting, you're making things happen. 3 types of people in this world. Ones that wait for things to happen, ones that make things happen, and ones that wonder what happened. Which one are you? Okay.
Who is she today, y'all? I don't know who Michelle is today. I just had to let her vent. I was like, okay, let me just let her. Who is she today, y'all? But she's right. She is definitely right. Taylor is actually hiring right now. So go to her website and apply because, like Michelle said, she wanted to be somebody who gave somebody else a job and helped them see that this is possible kind of thing. And I think that that's really good. Like, I honestly don't see myself working for somebody for the rest of my life, And as Michelle was saying earlier, how I could have waited for something to happen, right? I think I've said this before in the podcast, but recently I was supposed to start a podcast before I started this with Michelle. That's what I'm telling y'all. The Most High really works in my favor at all times. But I was supposed to start a podcast, and it didn't work out. Just the people, it just wasn't the right time, wasn't the right people on the project. It just wasn't the right whatever. And so I was like, forget it. I'm done. I'm not doing a podcast. I've tried this more than this time. It's not happening. It's not meant to be. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm done. I'm not doing it no more. It's too much. I was putting money into it, too much time, too much energy for it not to work out. And I was like, F it. I'm done. I'm not doing it no more. Forget it. No one's serious. I was, like, mad. I was angry that nobody was as serious as me. So I just held off on it. Didn't speak about it much. Like, whatever. I'll just keep going to work. I'll be depressed. Who cares? This is life, right? And then on Snapchat, as we said earlier, Michelle didn't really talk much. Like, we didn't know each other that well for us to talk often. But for whatever happened, she decided to write me and say, hey, I want to talk to you about starting a podcast. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I definitely want to start that. And I was like, that's that inner voice in my head. Well, this negative thing voice was like, she's just saying that. She just saying that shit. Like, whatever. She ain't going to get back to you. Then a week or so later, she actually followed up and was like, yes, I'm really ready. My husband has a Zencastr. I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't even think it was possible. Like, you're in New York. I'm here in Denver. Like, how would that even work? But we made it happen. And so that just goes to show, like, don't wait for opportunities to hit you. In my case, you're like, well, it kind of did hit you. Like, Michelle wrote you. But no, because I could have been like, all right, and, like, not held through to it. So opportunity was, kind of equally yoked, but at the end of the day, taking that step forward out of my comfort zone and be like, okay, let's do this versus no, it didn't work last time. That was been easier because they're here and you're not here, or whatever the case is. I could have done that easy way out, and I didn't. So I think it's very, very easy to take the easy way out and say, it's not meant for me. That's a fairy tale. It's not going to happen. You know, everybody else is living their dreams.
You didn't let fear drive you
get in the way, because fear is very. We need to talk about this We need to talk about this in another episode about how when you grow up, your inner voice is already created, so it's very hard to rework your inner voice versus off of past experiences or parenting or whatever the case is. It's very hard to rework your inner voice. My inner voice is very effed up at times. Like, you can't do this, you can't do that. But it's very easy to sink into that depression mode, or that you can't do this. No one you know is doing that, or girl, they did it, but you can't do it. It's very easy to do that, but it's harder to be like, no, I can do it. I'm capable of doing it. I'm going to do it, and actually executing it. So, yeah, like Michelle said, take the opportunities.
That's a good one. Don't let fear drive you. And I definitely think that's another episode that we definitely should discuss.
Definitely have to touch on that.
Please continue to support Melanin Voices. I was telling Mariah that maybe we got to put some drama on here for you guys to tune in.
No.
But we're not, because I know that there's a positive group of people who are actually here supporting us. And we really, really appreciate you guys just tuning in to Melanin Voices. It means so much to us. We really want to hear you guys' voices, because that's why it's called Melanin Voices.
Right, I mean, not just us two. We're tired of talking to each other, hearing each other all the time. We want to hear from y'all too. We want to hear you guys to write into us. We want to give you advice. We want to talk to you directly, like, you know.
Right. Just if you want to get on the podcast, you have an opportunity to say, hey, I want to get my voice out there. I'm trying to do something for my community, or I'm trying to build my own business. Whatever the case may be, let's set this platform, let's set this stage so we can all help each other. So let's go ahead, and if you have an idea, or if you want to be on our podcast, reach out on Melanin Voices. You know, we have our Facebooks, we have our Gmail, Melanin Voices 1.
Yes.
At Gmail. And also we have our website. So we have our YouTube subscription, comment. You know, there's many different ways that you can just reach out to us. So, you know what? We're all here to support each other, and we're all about supporting businesses, supporting each other. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to Melanin Voices. We're going to go ahead, and we're so excited to continue our episodes, because this season is going to be, you know, even better than our last one, because we're improving, and we also like feedback as well.
Yes, I mean, like the ones who have given us feedback and said, hey, we're listening. And, you know, sometimes people don't comment or whatever, but they'll write to you individually like, hey, I really like what you said in this. Maybe we can incorporate this, or to give us ideas. And that means the world, because actually means you took the time out. Even if you're like giving us criticism like, hey, you know, next time do this, do that, it means that you still listened. So we are still happy that you listen and actually take the time out to, I don't know, just be a part of our whole process, be a support system for us. And it means a lot, because can't do this without you guys. I mean, we obviously will still do it because we're so passionate about it. We love putting our time into this. This is like an escape for us from our actual corporate jobs. But we like the fact that you guys give us tips and help us out. It means the world. Even listening to us for our 30 to 40 minute segments, like, that doesn't have to be time that you guys listen to us. You guys could be doing something completely different, but you actually do listen to us. So that means the world.
Yes. So thank you so much for tuning in to Melanin Voices. Please go ahead and follow our page. We already talked about kind of our social media. So just tune in to next week as we talk more about all the different ideas that we have. Yeah, we can't give it away. You have to stay tuned for our next idea. All right, see ya. Bye, everybody.